Hi, this is Joyce. 1 week went by, 2 more weeks to go before my second shot. And for those of you who know me, I'm a student of history. I love biographies and I love histories. I remember as a young woman spending an entire year reading about America's battles during World War II and also reading about the Holocaust. This week has been Holocaust Remembrance Day, and the UN, just like I attended in person, not last year, but the year before, had an outreach program to historians, the Israelis, and other missions to the UN and NGOs to discuss how the Nazis took power in Germany after World War I. They looked at it, and they looked at us as well, because the similarities are chilling. When Hitler first came on the scene, he wasn't well known, nor was he well liked. But just like Putin, he had friends in high places and people with a lot of money, and they gave it to Hitler. And they pushed him into power. And eventually, his people took over government. And when they took over government, it was easy. Too easy. The people had suffered. They had lost their dignity. They had lost their hope. They knew they were being punished for World War I. And they were ripe for a fascist takeover. The Constitution was weak. The laws of the land did not support democracy as well as it could. And so even though Germany was a democracy, it was far easier for the Nazis to come in and overturn a democratic society. And they did it with the willing help of people who were going hungry. And everyone likes a scapegoat, so the Jews once again were the scapegoats. This never could have happened if democracy in Germany hadn't failed. And it's very similar here today. We saw the January 6th insurrection. The Republican Party has been helped by very, very wealthy donors. Sure, they look upon the Democratic Party and they point out to the Democrats' failures. But there is no equivalency. The Democrats may not seize power and give Americans all that they want, but they don't destroy our lives. And that's what the Republicans have set out to do. They are either major capitalists who are gutting our social safety net, or they are seditious and want to destroy government and faith in government forever. They seek revolution. They shouldn't be in any public office in the land. We have a mechanism to remove them from power. It's the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, Section 3. Because everyone who's in government has taken an oath to uphold the Constitution. You don't uphold the Constitution, you can be removed. The Democrats have the majority. It's a slim majority. but that's all we need. I know Biden would like to be bipartisan, and he'd like to achieve unity. Well, my advice to him is time is of the essence. Results are more important than bipartisanship. People are going hungry. People have not even seen the $600 stimulus checks from last year. And that money that went to people last year, that just covered bills from the summer. As long as the pandemic rages in America, we're going to need stimulus ongoing. You're going to have to provide it through the fall, unless miraculously you can come up with a vaccination program for the country that alleviates the stress on people and businesses. There are many who don't believe in the virus, and I can understand that if they're part of the 50% that are asymptomatics. They're just passing the virus to others. They're the carriers. If I knew I was a carrier, and luckily Biden has those simple, rapid tests to be released, and we will know who is an asymptomatic carrier, I wouldn't want to be out there hurting others. Some people are not recovering well. In Great Britain, they know they have 300,000 long haulers. That's what they're called. People who have symptoms of fatigue, muscle weakness, pulmonary involvement, headaches for months, and maybe it'll go into years, because their immune systems have been triggered to react to this virus. So Biden's got a lot on his plate. He has to channel FDR. The origin of the first 100 days came from FDR. He's the one who said, folks, trust me, I will get our ship in order in 100 days. I will do as much as I can. And that's why 100 days have been important to every presidency. Because the sooner they act to right the ship of state, the sooner people feel relief and have renewed faith in government. Biden is trying to be aggressive. He's increasing Obamacare to many people. He may have to mandate that the states expand Medicaid, because millions of the unemployed also have no health insurance. This is a tragedy in America, along with the tragedy that before Trump came into office, people were starving and hungry and hadn't had a living wage. All this needs to be rectified. There are people like Joe Manchin who is wondering about making people reliant on these checks. How dare he, when he knows that he's being paid by coal and fossil fuels, and his daughter is head of the EpiPen manufacturing company that charges $650 for an EpiPen. That is a necessity for everyone. Joe Manchin, you're not being even-handed. You're just being greedy. You're looking at your needs, and they must be little as compared to the American people. The American people need to see results. With results, you will diffuse the far right. Without results, Trump will trump Biden. We don't want Trump's ghost to be hanging around. We want those results. We want infrastructure. We want stimulus. And we want relief as long as the pandemic is raging. And hopefully, 90% of the population will get the shot, and Moderna has already come out and stated that if a third booster is needed in the summer, we'll get that too. For me, that's a plus, because my second shot is in 2 weeks. So God bless everyone. We'll hang on for a little while, and then if we don't see results by removal of those congressmen who were seditious and by passing the stimulus and relief packages now, because so much more is needed. Let's start getting shovels in the ground in anticipation of all of us going back to work in the third quarter. Take care, everyone, and have a blessed day. Thank you for listening.